Have you ever felt the strange, silent suspicion that your life doesn't quite belong to you anymore? Not in a dramatic way, not in a Hollywood-type collapse, but in that still, suffocating moment when you look around and something deep inside whispers, "This isn't the reality I was meant to live." A moment when the air feels different, when the world loses its familiar edges, and you sense, without understanding why, that you've slipped into the wrong timeline, watching a version of yourself you were never meant to become. Maybe it happened the night you woke up at 3:33 a.m. with your heart pounding like an alarm from another dimension. Maybe it was the déjà vu so intense it felt like time folded in on itself. Or maybe it was the sudden intuition, sharp, electric, undeniable, that someone or something was guiding you, pulling you toward a truth you couldn't articulate but couldn't ignore. You tried to brush it off. Everyone does at first, but the signs kept multiplying, repeating numbers. Strange coincidences that made no logical sense. People showing up and disappearing at the exact moment you needed clarity or disruption. Dreams that felt more real than waking life. Little ruptures in the fabric of your routine that whispered over and over, "Pay attention," because you weren't imagining it. You were being called. What you felt, what you may still be feeling right now, is the first crack in the illusion, the first fracture in the comfortable but false stability of the world you were taught to trust. The first spark of quantum consciousness igniting inside you, rewriting the rules of who you thought you were and what you believed reality could be. And once that spark ignites, it never goes out. Most people sleepwalk through life inside loops, vibrations repeating themselves, because the subconscious mind never learned a new frequency. They call limitation destiny. They call chaos bad luck. They call synchronicity coincidence. They dismiss their intuition as overthinking, their sensitivity as weakness, their inner truth as irrational. But you noticed the glitch. You saw past the curtain for a split second. And something ancient inside you recognized the truth before your logic had time to argue. The truth that your reality is not fixed. The truth that your life is not random. The truth that everything you feel, attract, lose, desire, fear, manifest, destroy, or rebuild is vibrating in resonance with a quantum field much larger than your physical body, a field of invisible frequencies responding to every thought you think, every emotion you suppress, every intention you radiate into the fabric of existence. And once you sense that, truly sense it, you can never go back to the smaller version of yourself you once wore so comfortably. Maybe that's why certain people no longer feel aligned with you. Maybe that's why your old goals feel too small now. Maybe that's why your intuition has been getting louder, like a signal overtaking static, guiding you toward a new timeline you're only beginning to glimpse. What you're experiencing is not confusion, not instability, not madness. It is the beginning of a spiritual awakening, the unveiling of the hidden reality beneath the one everyone else accepts without question. It is your energy aligning with a version of reality you could never reach at your old vibration. It is your consciousness expanding beyond the limit of inherited beliefs, stepping into a field of possibilities that were always there, waiting for you to rise to meet them. And if you're here, listening to this right now, it isn't random. Your frequency brought you here. Your intuition recognized something. Your consciousness chose this moment. Something is shifting inside you. Something powerful. Something undeniable. Something that has been waiting for years, maybe lifetimes, for you to finally listen. So don't look away. Don't talk yourself out of what you feel. Don't deny the signs that have been chasing you, because what comes next won't just explain what's happening to you. It will confirm every secret suspicion you've carried, every subtle awareness you've ignored, every truth that has been whispering beneath the noise of your old reality. And this is only the beginning. And if something within you has been shifting as you listen, if a quiet recognition has started to rise, a sense that you're finally hearing words that match what you've been feeling, then you're already stepping into a different level of awareness. Awakening isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention. It expands in the spaces between your thoughts, in the subtle pull toward truth, in the way your perception begins to sharpen around things you once dismissed. And that's why this connection matters. Because you're not just absorbing information, you're aligning with a frequency that mirrors your inner transformation. So before we move deeper, I want to invite you into something simple, intentional, and genuinely meaningful for this space we're building together. If what you've heard resonates with your experience or sparks a shift in your awareness, Take a moment to engage in a way that feels grounded and conscious. Leave a comment sharing what part of this message spoke to you. Like the video if it supports your journey. And subscribe, not out of urgency, but because this channel is dedicated to quantum consciousness, the quantum field, the subconscious mind, and the transformative power of frequency. Your engagement isn't about metrics. It's about amplifying a signal so it reaches others who are waking up just like you. If you're ready to understand how to stop being a passive participant in your reality and start becoming the intentional creator of it, hit subscribe and activate the bell now. Each video is designed to help you navigate your awakening with clarity, depth, and grounded awareness, and staying connected ensures you won't miss the next step in this unfolding. We're just getting started, and what comes next will take you even deeper. Let's go back to when you first felt the jolt, that quiet tear in the fabric of your normal reality that you tried so hard to pretend wasn't there. Maybe it was a number repeating at the worst possible moment, or a conversation that echoed something you were terrified to admit. Maybe it was the same heartbreak resurfacing in a new face, or the same argument looping like a trapped frequency, or that job that drained your spirit long before you ever walked away. You told yourself it was coincidence, randomness, the usual chaos of life. But in the language of the quantum field, coincidence is simply the mind refusing to see connection. Synchronicities are messages, subtle signatures of alignment between your inner state and the external world. Even Jung understood this long before modern physics could explain it. And now quantum field theory tells us the same thing in different words. Your consciousness interacts with the field, and the field responds. The observer effect isn't just a scientific anomaly. It's a reminder that perception is participation, that the energy you carry bends the possibilities around you. But you kept saying, nothing's changing. And that was the trap, because the vibration you were holding was the same vibration shaping the outcomes you were living. The subconscious mind was replaying patterns you didn't even realize you still believed in, and your energy kept echoing them back into the quantum field. Meanwhile, the old reality you depended on was quietly collapsing, not because you were failing, but because your frequency no longer matched the life you were clinging to. You felt the tension first, emotionally, physically, energetically. You felt out of place in conversations that once felt familiar. You felt disconnected from routines that used to numb the discomfort. You felt the quiet pressure of expansion pushing against the limits of your old identity. And even though you tried to hold on, a deeper part of you knew that something had already shifted. You weren't breaking down. You were outgrowing the vibration that once defined your world. This is where most people freeze, not because they don't feel the awakening, but because they don't know how to access the quantum field consciously. They don't know that the hidden reality beneath the surface is shaped by their perception, their emotional frequency, their silent expectations. They don't know that ignoring synchronicities is ignoring guidance. They don't know that the laws of vibration don't pause simply because someone is afraid to rise. Before we move into how to shift this pattern, I want to invite you to anchor your presence here. If this is resonating with your experience, if you recognize even a fragment of your own awakening in these words, take a moment to engage consciously. Leave a comment sharing the synchronicity you kept dismissing like it didn't matter. Like the video if this message helps you see your path more clearly. And subscribe so you can stay connected to a community built on awareness, frequency, and expansion. Not noise, not fear, not distraction. Your engagement isn't just support, it's coherence. It strengthens the field we're building together. Because what comes next will reveal why your old reality had to collapse, and what your new frequency is trying to create. Here's what science is now catching up to. The strange feeling you've carried your whole life isn't imagination, it's evidence. Evidence that the world you move through is not as solid, fixed, or predictable as you were taught. The quantum field is not just a theory on a whiteboard. It is the invisible architecture beneath matter, consciousness, and energy. In quantum mechanics, particles don't simply exist. They respond. They shift their behavior the moment they are observed, as if awareness itself is a force capable of bending reality. And if perception can alter a particle, then your attention, your emotional vibration, your belief system, all of it, plays a direct role in the reality you experience. Spiritual traditions have been saying this for thousands of years. They've taught that thought shapes form, that emotion shapes experience, that frequency shapes destiny. Now quantum physics spirituality is beginning to validate what mystics always knew. Consciousness and the field are intertwined. The mind is not trapped inside the brain. Your awareness extends into the quantum field, constantly interacting with it, constantly influencing outcomes long before you see them unfold. When these two truths finally converge, science confirming what spirituality has always understood, you uncover a secret most people never realize. You are not a passive observer of your life. You are the creator. Every intention you set radiates quantum energy into the field. Every unresolved emotion in your subconscious mind sends out a signal. Every fear, every desire, every hidden belief becomes part of the frequency that shapes your path. Synchronicities aren't random curiosities. They're the field writing back to you. They mark alignment when your inner and outer worlds match. They warn you when they don't. If you ignore these messages, the energy of your being will still try to correct your course. It will pull you toward a reality that matches your frequency, even if it's a reality you didn't consciously choose. This is how parallel realities emerge, not as fantasy, but as different versions of your life unfolding based on the vibration you inhabit. The hidden reality beneath the surface is always responding to you, always reorganizing itself according to the expansion of your consciousness. And the moment you begin to sense this interplay, your awakening enters an entirely new phase. Before we move deeper into how this fusion of science and spirituality reshapes your destiny, take a moment to anchor your presence here. If this is expanding your perception or clarifying something you felt but couldn't explain, share it in the comments. Your voice strengthens the field we are creating together. Like the video if this message supports your awakening. And subscribe so you stay connected to a community grounded in quantum healing, higher frequency awareness, and conscious evolution. Your engagement isn't just support. It helps this knowledge reach the people who need it most, because what comes next will reveal how your energy shapes possibilities long before you see them, and the truth behind the reality that's forming around you right now. Now let's get uncomfortable, because this is where most people sabotage their own awakening without even realizing it. Picture this. You keep seeing the signals, the repeating numbers, the strange coincidences, the emotional patterns resurfacing with uncanny precision. But instead of responding, you retreat into the familiar. You choose the comfortable prison over the freedom you haven't yet learned to trust. Your vibration stays the same. Your thoughts stay the same. Your subconscious mind keeps broadcasting an outdated frequency into the quantum field, and the field, faithful as always, keeps returning the same pattern. Your life starts looping, not because you're cursed, but because nothing in your internal signal has shifted. According to the law of vibration, like attracts like. Your frequency becomes your filter, the lens through which possibilities collapse into experience. If your vibration is unchanged, your quantum reality cannot shift. So ignoring synchronicities isn't harmless. It's a slow collapse of potential, a quiet suffocation of the timeline you were meant to rise into. The universe is always communicating, sending you messages through your perception, through your relationships, through your intuition, through the subtle energy currents that shape the hidden reality beneath the surface. But when you ignore these signals, the field doesn't give up. It adapts. It says, if you won't align, I'll align you. And that realignment can feel like destruction. It feels like losing people you thought were permanent. It feels like doors closing that you didn't expect to close. It feels like sudden endings, abrupt shifts, breakdowns that seem chaotic but are actually corrections. This is the part of awakening no one wants to talk about. The moment when manifesting with quantum physics stops being inspiring and becomes unavoidable. Because the field will always pull you toward the frequency you are meant to embody, even if you resist. The collapse you fear is often the clearing you need. The discomfort you avoid is the signal you've been refusing to answer. The chaos you blame on bad luck is the quantum field recalibrating your path to match the expansion of your consciousness. This is why shifting your reality requires presence. It requires honesty. It requires the courage to raise your vibration, even when it means letting go of a version of yourself that once felt safe. And before we go deeper into how this transformation unfolds, I want to invite you to ground your energy here. If this message reflects something you're experiencing, share it in the comments. If the truth in these words resonates with your awakening, like the video. And if you're ready to explore how to shift your reality consciously instead of waiting for the universe to do it for you, subscribe so you stay connected to this community. Your engagement helps expand this field of awareness and brings these teachings to others who need them. because the next part will show you what happens when you finally stop resisting, and what the quantum field has been trying to create with you all along. Here's your breakthrough, the moment where the awakening stops being an idea and becomes something you can feel moving through your perception, your energy, your entire sense of self. When a synchronicity strikes with enough force to pull you out of your routine, that sensation in your body is not random. It's the quantum field signaling you, the observer effect happening from the inside out, the universe bending probability because your awareness finally entered the moment with clarity. Instead of dismissing it, pause. Let the vibration settle. Tell yourself, this is not coincidence, this is communication. That single acknowledgement expands your consciousness and shifts the way your subconscious mind interacts with the hidden reality around you. Then ask the questions most people never dare to confront. What thought, emotion, or frequency was active in me just before this happened? What pattern from my past does this mirror? If the field sent this as a message, what decision am I avoiding? These questions open a doorway into the quantum field by aligning your awareness with its language. They reveal how energy has been trying to move through your life, how the subconscious has been shaping your path without your permission, how your vibration has been sending signals long before you noticed their reflections. And once this inner dialogue begins, the breakthrough becomes simple. Shift your vibration, not with dramatic gestures or forced positivity, but with one aligned action, something small, intentional, and coherent with the version of yourself you are becoming. The quantum field does not respond to size, it responds to frequency. One aligned step carries more power than 100 chaotic ones. Feel the new timeline as real within you. Let the field register the change. Let the universe adjust to the signal you are finally sending with awareness. As this alignment deepens, you'll notice something subtle. The reality that once felt heavy begins to rearrange itself. People shift, opportunities appear, old emotional structures dissolve with unexpected precision. This is quantum healing, not as a miracle but as an energetic correction, a recalibration of your timeline as your consciousness expands into a higher frequency. You begin to understand how to access the quantum field not by force, but by resonance. You realize that every synchronicity was preparing you for this exact moment, the moment you stop interpreting the signs and start embodying them. And here's the twist you weren't expecting. Once you learn to listen, the question is no longer, why is this happening to me? But, what frequency am I choosing to live in from this moment on? Because your energy is already shifting. Your perception is already widening beyond what your old reality can hold. The field is responding to you in real time, reshaping the possibilities around your awakening. And the next step is where everything you felt begins to make sense. Before we continue, I want you to anchor this moment with intention. Leave a comment sharing the activation phrase that matches your state right now. I awaken. I see beyond. I am expanding. Or describe the synchronicity that brought you here. Your words will ripple through this community and resonate with someone who needs them. If this message touched you, stop scrolling for a moment. Hit like. It tells YouTube this is content worth sharing with people who are awakening just like you. Subscribe and ring the bell, because you're stepping into a new reality, and every video here is designed to help you rise into your next frequency. And before you go, continue your expansion with the next video, the frequency that is shaping your destiny right now. Share this video with anyone who keeps seeing the same signs but still believes it's just coincidence. Your reality is calling you. The only question now is, are you going to answer?